Okay, what we have here is my wife's car, and I was told by the Toyota dealer that it needs a battery and two battery terminals because of the corrosion and everything. And they didn't give me amperage ratings for the battery or how they tested it. They just claimed that I needed a new battery, so I figured I would do my own test and might as well show people my favorite way to do a load test on a battery. So what we have here is a 550 cold cranking amp battery on this Scion FRS. And what I've done is I've connected my load tester to the battery with a voltmeter for accurate voltage and an amp clamp. So the best way to do it is you want to put a load of half of the cold cranking amps for 15 seconds with a minimum of 150. Meaning if you only have a battery that for some reason has 280 cold cranking amps, you still want to do a 150 instead of 140. But I got everything set up, so crank up the amps until it hits that 275. Come on. And then watch the meter. And the magic number we're looking for is 9.6 seconds. That beep means it's been 15 seconds. So back off the meter. No more amperage draw. No surface charge on the battery. And the secret number is 9.6. Anything lower than 9.6 is considered a fail, depending on temperature, of course. I like to do the test twice in a row because sometimes a surface charge could actually hide a weak battery. So I do the test once, let it cool down a little bit, go ahead and do it again. And in this case, I see no reason why I need a new battery. I do see what they mean about the corrosion on the terminals. They were pretty bad. I already cleaned them, but that's still pretty nasty. I'll probably go ahead and replace the terminals, but as far as I'm concerned, the battery's fine. You also don't want to do this test unless it's at least 12.4 volts without a surface charge, because that would be, otherwise you would want to charge it first. So crank it up again. Check the voltage. Wait for the beep. 9.8, that's still a good battery, technically speaking. Might be a little weak, but at this point I probably got 80% charge on it right now. So generally speaking, what I've seen is if you have a very, very bad battery that is just no good, it'll drop below 8.5 volts or even lower. If you have a brand new battery, I've seen them not go lower than 10.5 volts under a full load. Weaker batteries like this one where it's getting close to the end, but I see no reason to replace it now. It never has a problem cranking in the morning when it's cold. But that, in my opinion, is the best way to load test a battery. Using those electric conductance testers, sometimes the tester won't get an accurate reading because it's not really putting a load on the battery. It sends a tiny load and does a calculation. And in my opinion, it's too easy for that to be wrong. But yeah, that's as far as this tester goes, it's not a very expensive tester. I just hook up the 2 meters because sometimes these gauges don't quite read right. Right now it's reading fine, but when I first hooked it up, it was bouncing between 12.5 and 8, even though my voltmeter was stuck at 12.5. So that's why I actually do the double safety of having 2 meters hooked up to make sure I'm getting the right numbers. Hope that helps everyone. If you're having any kind of battery issues, I would recommend having a shop put a carbon pile load tester on it and check the battery that way, because that will usually tell you if you have a bad battery for sure or not. Yeah, hope that helps. Bye.